We are separating nutrition fact from fiction with naturopathic health educator Kate Rhéaume today. Thanks very much for coming in, because March is Nutrition Month, and there are so many, especially on social media. I even catch the fiction, right? I'm like, nah, that's not true. You're gonna set the good straight.
Sure, and it's easy to fall into that because you hear these things time and time again. I think one that's really popular now is that completely cutting out carbs is the one and only way to lose weight, or the best way to lose weight. And while it's true that there are, say, good and bad quality carbs, the white flour, white sugar, they'll spike your blood sugar, they'll, spike your insulin, make you gain weight. Absolutely, there are healthy carbohydrates that you can include and can help you feel full.
And we have examples here, yeah.
Exactly. So instead of low carb, think slow carb. So that means that the sugar in these carbohydrates converts more slowly into blood sugar in your bloodstream. So oats, lentils, whole grains, whole fruits and vegetables. These are all, absolutely will help you feel full and satisfied.
Especially because something like apples, it's got a lot of fiber in it as well, right? So that helps to slow things down.
That's the key, and that it's the whole apple, for example, instead of the juice, which will spike the blood sugar. That's really important.
Okay, speaking of sugars, what about sweeteners?
So a big myth is that if you're trying to cut either calories or carbohydrates, you should go with, say, artificial sweeteners or replacement sweeteners. And interestingly, there's no research that bears out that has really any benefit for either weight loss or blood sugar control. And so stick instead with natural sweeteners, but maybe just use less of them. Things like honey, maple syrup, or we've got some dates here that can provide natural sweetness without thinking that you can just eat, have as much, say, soda as you want, as long as it has an artificial sweetener. That's not helpful.
That's not helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the big myth is that eating healthy is too expensive? And you see, like you can go through a drive-through kind of thing. And sometimes, yes, it is very inexpensive, but are you eating healthy? Kind of thing.
That is exactly the point. And you can absolutely eat healthy on a budget. It requires a little bit more planning. You want to shop in terms of what's in season, which I think more people are doing now anyway.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Buying local, another good reason to do that. Plan out, shop according to what's on sale. You can do some batch meal prep, because that helps prevent, if you've got something in the fridge, then you're not going to order takeout, which is really, big on the food budget. So
and making sure that you're using the stuff that's in your fridge.
That's key.
Yes.
Having a leftover day, or planning to use the things, or seeing what you can come up with. And all of that is budget friendly and can help you just simply eat healthier on a budget.
Right. I like the idea of freezing stuff too.
Yes, because then there's always something available. If you think you've got nothing on hand, you can pop that pre-made stew or whatever it is, or whatever you got that was on sale, and froze it to eat later.
Okay. What are myths about supplements?
Yeah, that you hear this often, that supplements, for example, are a waste of money. But
that it's really expensive urine.
You hear this.
I hear that a lot.
And I'm so glad you brought that point up, because there are plenty of things that come out in the urine, like medications, for example, almost everything that goes in our body. Just because it ends up there doesn't mean it didn't help us before it got there. So it's a really good point. And your local health food store will have, say, multivitamin, which in terms of bang for your buck, to bridge the gap between the nutrients you need every day and maybe what we're eating on a daily basis, can really make a difference from the point of your overall nutrition. And so you can consider it a worthwhile investment.
Okay. What about gluten? That's the last myth that we're going to bring
here. The myth is that eating gluten-free is automatically healthier for everybody. And the fact is, unless you have celiac or gluten sensitivity, you probably don't need to eat gluten-free. And a lot of the gluten-free products that you'll find on the shelves
never had gluten in the first place.
Either they never had gluten in the first place, or they're replacing it with starches and other ingredients that will spike your blood sugar. They can still be very highly processed foods, but labeled as gluten-free doesn't necessarily mean they're healthier.
Okay. So what about the examples that we've got on here?
Yeah, so this is a healthy meal that is balanced. You've got protein, fat, and fiber. It happens to be naturally gluten-free just in terms of the nutrients, or the foods rather, that are in here. But it is something that, typically anybody could eat and keep you feeling full all day.
Okay, so don't believe everything that you see. Okay, Kate, thanks very much for coming in and clearing that up. We'll get all your links up on our website, chch.com/morninglive.